Hey guys, what's going on? This is Bobby here. I wanted to make a different video for you guys today. I really do like movies, and I wanted to tell you about my favorite movies of this year that I've seen. To begin, there are plenty of movies I did not see that I'm sure are fantastic. To begin, I have The Big Short, The Revenant, The Hateful Eight, The Martian, Room, Spotlight, Carol, Steve Jobs, Concussion, Trumbo, The Danish Girl, Bridge of Spies, and Love and Mercy. Some bad movies that I did not see this year, thankfully, were Pan, Max, and Aloha. To begin, I want to talk about my most disappointing movie of 2015. There are two main movies that really let me down this year. The first one, of course, Fantastic Four. I'm a big fan of the comic books. I love a good comic book movie, just sign me up, get me my thing of popcorn and my drink. Okay, just disregard that. But I was really into Ultimate Fantastic Four as a kid. I really did enjoy the darker take on it. I like the zombie story arc actually, but this movie was terrible and had so much potential. You have Miles Teller and all these very talented people, and you just screw it up, especially with 1 year later. But I'll save that for later. Another very disappointing movie to me was Sinister 2. I was a big fan of Sinister. I always told my friends, hey, you gotta see this, it's really scary. And I saw it this year. And yeah, it's still just as scary as when I first saw it in the theater. But this second one, what a letdown, seriously. The Super 8 videos are the creepiest part of it, and they're over-exaggerated. You have, like, crocodiles jumping out in CGI. It looks terrible. But, yeah, no, I don't even want to talk about that movie. It is a bit underrated, but it's still atrocious. Now, on to my most surprising movie of the year. Now, there were a lot of contenders for this list, but overall, I just went for Unfriended. I'm a big horror movie fan. I like to get scared. I like the jump scares, even though not too many jump scares like you'll see in my worst of 2015 list. But I chose Unfriended because Unfriended was a very different take on found footage. And it was on completely, the whole movie was on a computer screen, just you watching the conversation, seeing like all of the messages. You really delved into their characters, and I really was fascinated by that. Now, is it a good movie? Arguable, but it was, if anything, very surprising because I expected complete garbage, and I did not get that. So, props to you, Unfriended. I'm looking forward to Unfriended 2, which will probably be on my worst of 2016. Best list of 2015. There were many contenders that didn't quite make my list. I'll talk a little bit about them. First, I have Star Wars The Force Awakens. I didn't really grow up on Star Wars, so this one didn't mean as much to me. The Gift was very surprising. Ant-Man and Avengers Age of Ultron. It really disappointed me not to put these on the list. I really wanted to, but there were flaws, and when I was making my list of 5 movies, they didn't quite crack it. It was close to number 5, but it didn't quite make it for me. And then I have Furious 7, which is probably some of the most fun I've had watching a movie this year. And then I have Unfriended, Chappie, which I think is a very underrated Neil Blomkamp movie. And while it's not as good as District 9, I think it's just as good, if not better, than Elysium. So there's that. And then next is American Sniper, which I guess technically came out in 2014. A good movie. Fan Forstick performance. Not Fan Forstick. A fantastic performance by Bradley Cooper. And then finally, I have The Voices. The Voices was a Ryan Reynolds horror comedy. He was kind of like a psycho. And you just have to watch it. I don't want to spoil it for you. The trailer gives away a lot. Don't watch the trailer. But it's a really good horror comedy. You should check it out. 5 on my list is Kingsman: The Secret Service. Now, I really enjoyed Kick-Ass, but excuse my language, by Matthew Vaughn. And of course, X-Men First Class. But this movie, I was a little skeptical because they moved it from whenever it was to February, but skeptical I should not have been, because this movie was probably some of the most fun I've had in 2015. And just like I said for Furious 7, I used the exact same thing. But it's just really different, really cool, and the church scene in it is incredible. You're going to love this movie if you love a good action. A good action. Yeah, that makes sense. On to number 4. is Ex Machina. Now, going into this movie, I had high hopes because it had like a 90% or something on Rotten Tomatoes. Everybody's praising it. I'm like, okay, I'll jump on the hype train. And I was very impressed. It was very well done. The acting was great. Oscar Isaac and the other two. I'm sorry, I don't know your names, but yeah, really good movie. You should check it out. And it's a good thriller. It really gets you in the suspense. The suspense just showers over you like a cold bath. And yeah, check it out. It's fun. It's not fun. It's a good movie. Next, number 3 on my list, Straight Outta Compton. Now, I didn't know much about NWA before I saw this movie, but I was very happy to see it because I learned so much about them in this whole time period of all of this stuff going on. And no, I was really impressed. The acting was actually really good by all these people I never heard of before in my life. And yeah, Paul Giamatti was good too. Oh, yeah, that's not Paul Giamatti, but yeah, I really like this movie, and I like the music too. I bought the album after I saw this movie. 2, and we're really getting down to it now. These two, I could really interchange them. Now, I'm a big horror movie fan, so I like something new, like I said for Unfriended. So when I saw It Follows, I was very impressed. I was completely blown away. I saw this on spring break, and oh man, this was good. Now, yeah, I was really impressed by the directing, and this was a really good tribute to like 70s, 80s horror movies, and it had a fantastic score. I listened to that so many times. I did buy it when I got home. It's really catchy, yeah. And I used it for one of my short films. You can watch it on YouTube. I'll put the link right here. Check it out. But yeah, it's a really good movie. There are some good scares, and you should watch it if you're into horror. Now on to my number 1 of the year. Once again, I didn't see very many movies this year, but this one will probably still be in my top 5. My number 1 movie of the year is Creed. Now, I wasn't big into Rocky movies, but I did watch some of them as a kid. I really liked the action-packed ones like Rocky 4 and the cheesiness of them really, it was good. But, no, this really blew me away. Michael B. Jordan gave a fantastic performance as Apollo Creed's son. Overly serious. But yeah, and the directing was incredible. There was one action scene in this. Well, not so much an action scene, but a fight. Where it was all one shot. And it was so well done. It was incredible. You have to watch this movie. It is the best of the year, by far. Alright. Now that we're over with the good stuff, let's get down and dirty and get down to the worst movies of the year. This year, I watched a lot of garbage, and there were plenty of movies that did not make the list. To start it off, Sinister 2, no. Vacation almost made it. There was one scene or two that I actually laughed though, so that one's off. Pixels, actually not as bad as people said, but still atrocious. Paper Towns, I was really let down by this. I like The Fault in Our Stars. This one was not even close to that. The ending pissed me off. I have Ted 2, which had some good laughs, but overall, the exact same movie as the first, pretty much. Very underwhelmed. Next I have Trainwreck with Amy Schumer. Now, a lot of people like this movie. I thought it was pretty bad. There was one part where I died laughing. I'm not gonna lie. With John Cena in it. Yeah, John Cena meme. Insert John Cena meme here. But yeah, I was very underwhelmed. I don't think Amy Schumer's very funny. That's just my opinion. I'm glad she's successful right now, but I don't find her funny. And then I have Knock Knock, an Eli Roth movie that was atrocious and so bad it's good. With Keanu Reeves. Oh my gosh, Keanu Reeves. He's not an actor. Get Hard was pretty bad. Focus. Taken 3, when Liam Neeson's like, I ordered some bagels. Not that. And then I have The Lazarus Effect, pretty bad. Unfinished Business, The Longest Ride was, and then Hot Tub Time Machine 2 was so unfunny. On to the top 5. Number 5 on my list is Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Now, I didn't have a lot of high hopes going into this. I just wanted a couple of cheap laughs, because I actually enjoyed the first movie. But I gotta admit, I tried watching this on a bus with one of my friends. We got 10 minutes into it and we gave up. We could not do it. But then I ended up rewatching it, and I've watched the whole thing. It's bad, but um, yeah, it's really bad. Don't watch it. It's just more Happy Madison garbage. Please don't. Number 4 on my list, I'm putting it at number 4 because it's just ironic. Fantastic freaking Four. Ooh, man, where do I start? You know, I'm really angry at my friend because one of my friends was really hyping me up for this movie the week it was coming out. He was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be good. It has Adam Kinberg on it. You know, he did all the X-Men movies. Those are great, except for two, and not X-Men 2, but two of the movies." And he's just like, "Yeah, you should be excited." I'm like, "Okay, I like Josh Trank. Chronicle's a great movie." But then I see the tomato meter. First day it has 20%, and I text him. I'm like, "This isn't looking good, dude." And then it drops to 15, and then 10, and then 8. So I didn't have high hopes going into it. I made him see it with me, and it was terrible. Everything about it was awful. The movie was actually not the worst thing in the world for the first half, but then the words 1 year later pop up, and then it's just the most atrocious movie of the year. And honestly, I didn't think the last action scene was as bad as people say it is, but terrible. Just terrible. And the villain, laughable. You have to watch this movie for that stupid villain. Well, actually, no, don't watch this movie. It's terrible. It's the worst movie other than 3 other movies on this list, but please save your money. Don't watch this garbage. 3 on my list is 50 Shades of Grey. Oh my gosh. So I had the unfortunate experience of reading this book. Yeah, I read it, and it's laughably bad. So when I went to this movie, I expected it to be laughably bad, and is it? Yeah, it really is. But there's so many parts of it that are just so bad, it's bad. It's really unwatchable. There's one actress, the lead actress is not that bad, but other than that, terrible, really bad. Don't even bother. I know this is gonna be higher on people's list, but ooh, it's so bad. It's as bad as you hear it is. Just don't. Number 2 on my list is one you probably haven't heard of, but it was directed by Oren Peli, the director of the original Paranormal Activity. And I was going into this movie with mid to low expectations because the rating on Vudu was so low. I didn't really expect much, but I got even less than that. And that was Area 51. The actors across the board were terrible. And it's another found footage movie, so it's nothing you haven't seen before. And it's just really insulting to anyone. The CGI is laughable. Everything about this movie is laughable. No scares, just jump scares that are terrible. You should not watch this movie. It is so bad. It's not worth a rental, not worth anything. Don't watch it. Alright, now we're down to the nitty gritty. The worst movie of 2015. This took a lot of thinking, and there were a lot that I really considered for this. But when I got down to it, there was one movie that stood above the rest. The Boy Next Door is atrocious. There is nothing redeeming about this movie. It is so bad. Don't watch this. Ever. The only redeeming thing about this movie is Jennifer Lopez is attractive. That's it. That's it. There's no reason to watch this movie. Don't watch this movie. It's not thrilling. It's not scary. If anything, it's just laughable. Please don't. It's not even that funny. It's not The Room. It's not Birdemic. It's so far below any of those. It's not good. Don't watch it. Please. It's... Ugh. Just thinking about it, it's so bad. I would never watch this again. Please don't waste your time with this one. Alright guys, so that's my list of the best movies and the worst movies of 2015. Comment below, let me know what your lists are. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out my short film. I made a few in my digital video class, and I don't think they're too bad, so check them out on my YouTube page. Also guys, if you like this video, be sure to let me know, because I'm debating whether or not to make movie reviews and stuff like this, so just let me know in the comments below. Thanks. See you guys soon. Maybe. See.